Hello people, how you doing today? Welcome back to my reaction channel. My name's Teddy90 and let's watch some I can't pronounce that guy's name, in a nutshell video. Number 4 on trending. Cool. But that's not really why I'm interested. I've always loved these guys' videos and everything like that. I have some tunes in the background just to make some smooth jazz go on in the background. And it's royalty free. It's royalty free on Spotify and all that good stuff. Figured I'd throw in some music in the background, just have something in the background while I talk. Before we get started, sub to them, like them, follow them, go to the Patreon, all that other good stuff. All the stuff that you should do before you do anything related to me. I'm not the important one, they are. They're the ones who actually produce content. I just kind of watch it. Now, let's watch what's hiding in the most solitary place on Earth. Let's get going, shall we?
Sometimes the world feels, boring.
True.
We visit.
Sometimes the world does feel incredibly boring. It's kind of why I'm doing multiple videos per day today. Well, this is only my second one, but still. I've been in a depressed place recently, so I've figured might as well produce as much content as I can. And I'm not gonna be streaming tomorrow either, so I guess I'll be producing some content, some of these tomorrows. But anyway, that's not why you're here. Let's continue watching.
Visited all the remote islands, conquered the Arctic, and penetrated the deepest jungles. But there is still one place to explore. It's a wet and deadly desert inhabited by mysterious creatures living in total darkness. The deep sea.
Yeah, the sea is the one place that we've yet to actually fully explore and figure out and everything like that. It's the one thing that we've yet to truly get to the bottom of, at least on our planet. Hi Mia, stop biting me. Because it's just so hard to get down there and so hard to record and everything else like that. I'm no scientist, but I do know it's one of the hardest places to get to. Sorry, Mia's currently on my lap and she's being a bit of a goofer. Alright, Mia girl.
Let's dive down.
Dive down on into it, shall we?
When we look at the sheer scale of the Earth's oceans, it's hard to believe that less than 2% of all biomass on Earth lives here. And of that small percentage, around 90% is located close to the surface in the first 200 meters.
I had no idea about that statistic, honestly. That's kind of crazy to think about. It's only a small amount of the world's population actually live in the ocean, and the majority of the Earth is ocean. That's actually kind of crazy. Is that Mia's head, or is that just... what is that over there? I see... oh, that's like the corner or something weird. Oh no, that's the box over there. Okay. Sorry, I was wondering what was in like the... there. I was wondering what that was. Anyway. That's a crazy statistic. That is an honestly crazy statistic.
This is where we begin our journey. Here, light can still penetrate the water, which allows...
again, child, penetrate.
photosynthesis.
I like how I was going for like a sarcastic joke, then I actually started laughing. I really am a child.
To occur. Phytoplankton, trillions and trillions of single-celled algae and bacteria.
These guys produce actual scientific content, and I'm just here laughing at the word penetrate.
Make up the foundation of the ocean's ecosystem, and they're consumed by bigger plankton who are consumed by other species. The seafloor at this depth is akin to the Amazon rainforest and is often covered with coral reefs, algae, and other sea plants.
Aren't coral reefs typically dying? Is that's part of the issue, right? Coral reefs are just kind of dying now because of all the pollutants and the rising temperature of the ocean and all the different type of stuff. I know the coral reef near Australia is dying, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's I know it's dying because of pollution and things like that, but I'm not exactly sure what's causing. I'm not sure if all the other coral reefs are also dying because of the same thing.
Plants that
again, not learning the subject.
Are home to a plethora of sea animals. So far,
clownfish, Finding Nemo, yeah.
We've focused most of our attention on this comparatively pleasant environment where we fish, swim.
That's a Goldeen, I think. Is that a Goldeen from Pokemon? Oh, and that's not Starmie. What's the Seahorse one. I can't remember its name now. It's been a while since we
pollute,
Pokemon.
and do science. So,
I like how they just have Pokemon in there.
let's dive
Plastic bottle.
deeper. Moving from familiar coastal waters into deeper, more remote waters, we eventually reach the edge of the Continental Shelf, where we're confronted with the Continental Slope, the long descent down to the deep sea.
Down here in the deep blue sea, down here in the deep blue sea, yeah.
With every additional meter of water, light fades drastically, which means there are basically no more plants, and the seemingly steep continental slope begins to remind us of the surface of the moon. Looking out, we're faced by what seems to be endless open water. Let's leave the slope behind us and enter what's known as the Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone. Now you're entering the Twilight Zone. If only I had the music, I could, like a soundboard that could do this.
Portal to the deep sea. As we sink down further, the water pressure rises to deadly
Barometer. That's what that stands for. BAR, barometer.
levels.
Just how deep you are.
The deepest scuba dive ever came in at 332 meters. At that depth, the pressure is like having 200 cars stacked on top of you. Yet we've only completed 3% of our journey. While this region seems pretty grim, many fish and other animals actually spend at least half their lives down here. During the day, it's a good place to rest and recover, hidden from predators in the vast, dark waters.
Yeah, the ocean is really like space in that way, where like things congregate around stars, or in this case, up towards a surface where the light from a star can hit you. But the further you go away from it, the less there is and the more space there is for you just to kind of like be away from everything else. Like you can just go into the middle of the thing and like you're not in the middle of the ocean. No, nothing's going to run into you. It's like going into space, like away from stars and planets. It's like you're not going to run into anything because it's big.
At night, they can travel more safely into shallower zones to feed in the food-rich surface waters. In this transition zone between twilight and darkness, light becomes a powerful tool. Over 90% of the species indigenous to this deep environment use bioluminescence chemicals to create light.
And isn't that an interesting thing? Creatures can come up with bioluminescence, like fluids and things like that, to actually make themselves glow in the dark. That is so fascinating to me that creatures can actually like glow in the dark and things like that, produce their own light. That is insanity that like evolution can go down that route. It's so crazy.
They do so as camouflage against the very
This type of stuff reminds me of Subnautica, the game Subnautica. Awesome game. Not great to play on stream, but awesome game. It reminds you of just how truly empty like the deep bottom of the ocean is.
faint sunlight,
and how utterly terrifying it is, and how utterly terrifying and alien it is.
To send signals to potential mates or to confuse and scare attackers. Or they use light to hunt. Another tool for survival in the dark is teamwork. At around 700 meters, we encounter a colony of siphonophores. They can be up to 50 meters in length, but are only as wide as a broomstick. To attract prey, a colony creates a tragically beautiful bright blue or red light and deploys a curtain of tentacles filled with toxic needles that kill anything that comes too close.
That's crazy. Like they just have like needles and things like sticking out to just stab at anything that comes near that. Nature is lit, dude. Nature is lit. The subreddit Nature is lit. Go check it out.
But most species living down here have to rely on an unlikely resource, marine snow. White, flaky stuff that constantly
I've never heard of that before. Marine snow.
Sinks from the surface to the bottom of the ocean. White, flaky stuff that constantly sinks from the surface to the bottom of the ocean. It consists of dead plant or animal parts, fecal matter, shells, sand, or dust. Even though this doesn't sound very tasty, without this crucial resource, life in the deep sea would starve. It's in this area that the most fascinating battles between two unlikely enemies could happen. Sperm whales hunt and attack giant squid the size of a house. While the squid fight back ferociously, they probably don't stand a chance, but they do leave permanent marks on their killer's skin.
I didn't know sperm whales hunted giant squid. I thought sperm whales were incredibly passive creatures. I thought that was like a whole thing of theirs. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what just happened there. There it is. There. Back onto the actual song that I'm supposed to be on. I didn't know sperm whales actually hunted. That's kind of crazy. I didn't know about the giant squid though. Giant squids are real. That's also very interesting.
Reach 1,000 meters, deeper than the tallest structure built by humans, we need to be careful. This is the Midnight Zone, a place...
Wait, sorry, go back to that? So this is the Megazopolic Zone, or the Twilight Zone, and then this is the Midnight Zone here. That's crazy that it's even just like slightly below is just... The ocean's crazy, dude. The ocean's insane.
Humans,
how big
we
it
need
is.
to be careful. This is the Midnight Zone, a place of utter darkness. A barely explored wet wasteland consisting of nothing but endless black open water. At these depths, it's harder for a human to take a swim than to take a walk in space. Finding food down here is really hard, so life had to adapt and become extremely energy efficient. Like the 30-centimeter long vampire squid that floats through the water without motion, with long and slender catching arms extended. They're covered in tiny, stiff hairs which brush food from the water. This saves a lot of energy compared to actively catching food. For carnivorous fish, it's much harder to find food since living prey is quite rare down here. So the hunters have to get a perfect grip on their victim on first strike, otherwise it will escape into the dark.
Yeah.
Many deep-sea predators have several sets of long and deadly teeth. Like the viperfish, which uses its long fangs to trap...
It's insane how, when you go down to the deep, in the deep ocean, creatures just start looking like insane monsters from beyond the grave. Like... They look like hideous abominations only dreamt up in, like... How am I forgetting his name now? The guy who made the Cthulhu mythos. H.P. Lovecraft's greatest wet dream. Like, all the different types of stuff down there is insane looking. It's weird how that works.
Even large prey and swallow it whole. Or the frilled shark with its impressive set of 300 teeth, which are curved backwards to hook their victims in their mouths. We sink further, below the 3,800 mark, as deep as the grave of the Titanic.
Yeah.
We are now at abyssal depths. Here, life happens in slow motion. Preserving every last bit of energy is crucial for survival. Everything down here hovers motionless or swims in a slow, elegant fashion. The only time the animals living in this zone move fast is when they have to escape danger.
Yeah.
Like the Dumbo octopod paddling with its ear-like fins, or
the Dumbo octopod. Those things are super cute. Those things are super duper cute. I'm gonna go look one up for you. Those things are super cute. Dumbo octopus. These things are ridiculously cute. Look at these little guys. They are absolutely adorable. They're absolutely adorable. They are cute beyond all rational belief. Look at those little guys. They're so cute. Alright, back to the video.
or the grenadier's fish with its slow eel-like tail beats. At 4,000 meters, we finally reach ground again, the abyssal plain. It's covered in grey mud and rocks, dusted with the remains of marine snow, which is consumed by animals like sea cucumbers, shrimp, sea urchins, and sea worms. In some regions of the seafloor, small dark mineral deposits can be seen. These are manganese nodules. Deep-sea corals and sponges use
What are manganese nodules?
them to anchor themselves on
Magnesium nodules?
the bottom of the sea.
Manganese nodules. Manganese nodules. Excuse me for my terrible spelling. Can somebody explain why Yahoo pops up? Polymetallic nodules called manganese nodules are rocks connected to these nodules have vast quantities, contain valuable metals, and have been identified by having economic interest. What are they though? And these alloys are the manganese ore, which is used for metallurgical purposes. Seafloor manganese are collected versus manganese. So is manganese magnesium? Is manganese magnesium? Essential magnesium is a secondary plant. Manganese. Magnesia and magnesium the same. Milk magnesia is magnesium hydroxide. What's the difference? Sorry, I'm getting completely off topic, but Twitch is currently having issues with going live. Good thing I'm just recording then, right? Alright, I can imagine I'm just recording. It should be fine. Essentially, the plant nutrients they've absorbed by roots. Secondary plant takes up a large amount of magnesium. Magnesium deficiency in corn. Magnesium. So they're not the same. Okay, they're not the same. Yes, I know my browser's up to date. Whatever.
Though life is sparse on the deep seafloor, even down here there are
sorry for the tangential trying to figure out what magnesium was.
Oases. In the rift valleys, where tectonic plates are splitting apart, magma heats up seawater and creates dark jets of water and minerals as hot as 400 degrees Celsius that form elaborate chimneys and towers. Extremophile bacteria use the minerals to create organic substances that are the basis for unique ecosystems. As we descend further, we reach the deepest point of the abyssal plain at 6,000 meters. For most of the seafloor, this is as deep as it gets. But if we want to get to the deepest point of the oceans, we're actually only halfway there.
Wow.
Let's enter the Hadal Zone, the underworld of the sea. It consists of long, narrow trenches that only make up around 0.25% of the oceans and are among the most extreme environments on Earth. Only extremophiles exist down here, like the ethereal snailfish that holds the record for the deepest living fish ever seen at around 8,000 meters. We see spiky and sharp black rocks rush by as we sink down to more than 10,000. Until we reach the final slope, a trench inside the larger Mariana Trench with gently sloping sides that enframe a valley about 1.6 kilometers wide. This is it. The deepest point, the Challenger Deep, 11,000 meters below the surface. The water pressure here is 1,086 bar. Taking a swim here is like having to balance 1,800 elephants on top of you. But even here, life has found a way to thrive. Next,
as the saying goes, life will find a way.
To sea cucumbers, white and light pink amphipods wiggle their way through the water. Their size is astounding. While their shallow water cousins are merely a few centimeters long, the deep sea version can reach up to 30 centimeters.
I wonder why that is. I guess with such little being able to actively survive down there, they would almost have, for what food there is, almost all of the food for themselves, since there's nothing else living down there.
And there are other things floating elegantly through the water. Plastic bags that were found by scientists in 2018.
Yeah. We have completely and utterly polluted our planet, and it is exceptionally disheartening that that's true.
Even the remotest place on Earth is not safe from human influence. There's nothing left to do now, and our oxygen is running out, so we begin our ascent. hours of traveling through dark nothingness, we finally see a glimpse of light. We arrive back at a calm surface. The oceans are so deep. There is
It's so deep, man. It's so deep. Oh my god, it's so... Oh my god, it's so deep.
so much of them. We owe it to ourselves and to our descendants to preserve them as well as we can. There are still so many wondrous things left to be discovered. So, you're all tingly now and want to go exploring?
Damn right, you're not wrong.
Why not start off with some juicy science? You can use our friends from Brilliant as your
Here's their ad. All right, we'll let their ad.
springboard for a knowledge deep dive.
I'll show you off
Brilliant is a website that helps you approach science in a practical way through interactive courses and daily problems in maths, science, and computer science. Instead of simply flooding you with information, you get the tools you need to untangle complex topics by yourself. It's hands-on learning instead of chalk and talk. Plunge in and get to the bottom of courses about things like geometry, waves and light, gravitational physics, and many more. Click the link in the description or visit brilliant.org/nutshell to sign up for free and learn more things than there are fish in the sea. And there's an extra perk for Kurzgesagt viewers. The first 688 people to use the link get 20% off their annual membership, which lets you view all the daily problems in the archives and unlock every course. Brilliant helps you end your day a little smarter. Go ahead and take the plunge. Do you need more vitamin C? We've also made an epic poster featuring some of the most fascinating creatures we encountered on our dive.
That is a great poster. Go buy their merch. Go do all that thing. Go join Brilliant. All that other good stuff. What is... That's weird. Anyway.
It's much less work than an aquarium, but just as soothing and pretty.
It's very nice. It's very nice. World War of the Ants. Great video. I love these guys' videos. They always put so much work, so much effort, so much time. They're great. Go sub to them. Go like them. Go do all that other good stuff. I'm just happy to have learned some things from there. I'm not sure how much it'll actually stick in my head brain, but now I know magnesium and manganese are different elements. And obviously humanity's garbage gets everywhere on the planet, which is a dang shame. And plastic doesn't go away. We're so bad to our planet. We're so bad. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Go like I've said that already. Go support them on Patreon and all the other good stuff. Then if you like my video and like my reaction to their amazing content, give me a like, give me a sub, all that other good stuff. But seriously, I'm not the important one. They are. Give them all the love, all the attention, all that good stuff. I'm just some guy. Go sub to my Twitch, or go follow my Twitch and sub if you want to, and go join my Discord. All that other good stuff. Apart from that, I've been me, you've been you, love, butts, happiness, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. And Mia loves you, although she is currently curled up and not wanting to get up again, so I'm not going to show her off. We'll hurt Mia. Alright, goodbye. Love you all.